today I'm going to be sharing with you what's on my bookshelf. I think this is an amazing tag. It was started by Sean from his channel, I think is Sean James Cameron now. I'll link it all below for you, and he shared just a peep of what was on his bookshelf, and I wanted to do the same, so let's get started. So a couple of years ago we moved in here and we tried to streamline the books that we've got, because these ones are all notebooks here, the Leuchtturm notebooks, because we just had too many, and we decided we were going to try and use the Kindle more, and these were some of the favourite books of ours that we wanted to keep, that we could go back and read again. These ones on top are ones that I'm reading at the moment. This is most recent one by James Wong. I'm generally a big fan of his. I'm thinking of doing a foodie book club on that. I'm a little bit unsure on it at the moment, but I haven't read it all, so I'll hold back on making a decision. This is actually a board game, but it seems to stay in here. This side is probably more of my like books, garden and reference ones. I find, although it's good reading as many as you can on Kindle, the reference books, they definitely work best, especially ones like this where you've got pictures to look into if you have the actual book for reference. So that one's got a piece of tree in, because this year I decided I was going to try and learn more names of trees. What else have we got? Herbs and healing plants, African and Middle Eastern cooking, food for free, that's one that Trevor bought me because I quite like foraging. The Good Life, I think I've done that on Foodie Book Club before. And then this one is the Sausage Man book, and it's about becoming a sausage taster, and that's by Jason Ayres. A few years ago, 2013 it was, I was a sausage taster, and Jason was a sausage taster too, and we met up on the day that we did the sausage tasting judging, and I made a vlog about it, and he wrote a whole book, so I got a little mention in the book, and I thought that was nice. And obviously the story is of the same kind of process that I went through, so being official sausage taster that year, so it was a nice one to keep hold of, so I've kept that. Trevor was quite into homebrew, well he still is really, but this was healing herb beers, which was quite interesting. We used to live in Wellington, so this one was the history of that area and the breweries in that area. And this one is another one that Urban Farmer, he's got a YouTube channel, Curtis Stone. It's really good. I definitely want to write a review, do a review video on this one. I need to get caught up with those. So I've been reading loads of books, but I just haven't done the Foodie Book Club videos for a while. This Garden to Kitchen Expert is really good. This Pixel to Plate's good too. That's about photographing food and styling food. I feel like the whole bookshelf is going to collapse. I'm taking all these books out of it. And the Garden to Kitchen Expert is good because it shows you how to grow them. I would say I'm a better cook than I am a grower, so I liked that this had the two together. This Jeweled Kitchen is a gorgeous cookbook. This is by Bethany Keddy, and I was at Food Blogger Connect a few years ago where she did the book launch for this, and I got to help like preparing some of the food in it. We made canapes. See if I can find the recipe. So this is the one. It's venison and sour cherry nests, and we made those at the book launch, and it was just a really nice thing to be involved in. See what else we've got here. This is a book that I've used a lot. Oh She Glows. She's got a second book out now. Jewish Deli, there's a nice pastrami recipe in there. Then I've got my little Lego encyclopedia and some baking books. This is quite an old one, Organic Garden by Jeff Hamilton's nice reference book. What else have we got? That's just a notebook. I've also got these are Japanese magazines, like cooking magazines. I think I've mentioned before that I learned a lot of Japanese through recipes, and I had a subscription to this for a year. When we were living out in Japan, there used to be a TV show that went along with it, so I used to buy the magazine and try and follow the recipes along, and then I had a subscription to it once I came home. It takes me such a long time to like translate and pore over the recipe that I never wanted to throw them away, because the recipes in there I've literally spent like hours figuring out what they mean, because there's lots of like subtleties in recipes that you don't really realise until you try and follow them in a different language. So I've kind of demolished this bookshelf. As I said, this was going to be the only bookshelf that we had, but we've ended up kind of spilling into the front room too. So these ones are under the TV. They're kind of the currently reading, or the ones that we're grabbing more often for reference. Most of these ones are Japanese ones. That's for Trevor. He's doing some translation bits with those. And then this side is kind of my side, and these are more ones. I'm doing a science course at the moment, so we've got chemistry, medical terminology. This one is really interesting. It's about mitochondrial DNA, 7 Daughters of Eve. This is a gorgeous book, The Gardening Year. Let me get that out. It's kind of embossed on the front, and this one's really special because it's my mum's, but she's lent it to me, and when she got it, she wrote the date on it, so 75. And it takes, you just go through it. It's got loads of pictures, and it goes year by year, month by month, sorry, and tells you stuff about every single season. It even smells nice. It's just got like that kind of old book smell to it. It's definitely been well thumbed, and I like it because I know this was the first book that my mum started out with, and I try and read it every month to keep up with what I should be doing in the garden. And tells you all the different areas in the UK and what the temperature is, so when you should be planting things out. That's a really nice one. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen a lot of these mentioned. The Teaming with Microbes is really good about soil structure. And after I finish this year's science course, I'm hoping to do biochemistry at university in September. But I have actually got a place to do that, so I'm doing a little bit of reading ahead to get going with that. The only thing is ever so expensive. I'm not 100% certain if I'm gonna go, but that's a whole nother story. So as I said, I read a lot on my Kindle, and I also listen to audiobooks. So I wanted to tell you about 2 that I am reading at the moment. So on audiobook, I am listening to The Dorito Effect. This is one that I want to come back to and probably do a Foodie book club like review of, but it's a little bit sensational to start off with. It's talking about the food flavourings that are put onto our food, and it's kind of about how animals and vegetables, plants and everything have been grown and bred now for high yield and big sizes, and about how flavour has been lost on the way, and it's kind of about the flavour compounds that they're adding into foods. And the book that I'm currently reading for like nighttime reading, because I like to read more of a story at bedtime, is Aurora, which is a really good one. Again, that's about colonising a new planet. So that's an interesting one. I generally tend to have loads of books on the go at the same time. I read quite a lot, and I track all the books I'm reading on Goodreads, which I think is a really good way to get recommendations for new books, because it tracks what you've read and makes recommendations then, so based on your reading list you may like. So that's a good place to get reading recommendations from. I feel like I'm reading some other books. Well, most of those ones that I've just shown you behind there, the sciencey ones, are more like evening time reading when I'm looking to focus in on something. So definitely a mixed reader, but I absolutely love getting book recommendations. So if you've got any that you think I should be reading, do let me know. I'm going to tag 2 more people to do this. So I'm going to tag Nat at Tulips and Terracotta and Bohemian Raspberry, because I know at the moment they're both, I think, doing the RHS qualification. They're definitely doing gardening, horticultural type qualifications, and I'm really keen to see what they're reading, because that's something that maybe one day I would consider doing too. So that's who I would like to see next. But if you would like to join in and do the tag, definitely do. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.